percentage. So after calculating, so what has been found is that, so Kavita has, is going to school, and the school has worked for n number of days, right? And Kavita has attended 216 days out of the total n, right? Which is 90%. 90% means 90 out of 100. Okay, so what is n? That's a question, right? So n is equal to 216 into 100 by 90. So 0 and 0 goes off, 9. 216 is 24 times. So number of days is equal to 240. Or if you are good with numbers, you can directly say 90% is 216. What will be 100%? 240. That is 216 by 9. You can calculate it directly, or you can just write the steps like this and get the answer. The answer is option 2, 240. Question number 13. 14, it's a very simple question. So among the given 6-digit numbers, we have to find which one is exactly divisible by 11. Okay. Now we know the divisibility test for 11. That is, if suppose I'll take a simple number. If you have a 3-digit number like this, sum of the numbers in the odd position minus the sum of the numbers in the even position should be 0 or a multiple of 11. For example, 407, if you take like 4 and 7, so 4 plus 7 is 11 minus 0. So the outcome should be either 0 or 11. That is, the difference between sum of the digits in the odd position and even position either should be 0 or 11. That's the condition. Now just go one by one. Wherever you get the answer, you can stop. So I'll count this: 8, 9 and 8. Okay, so 8 plus 9 plus 8 minus 0, 7 and 1. Minus 0, 7 and 1. So this is 25 minus 8, that's equal to 17. Okay, now 17 is not divisible. Okay, the outcome is 17. So option 1 is ruled out. Now the next one, 9, 3, 9. So 9 plus 3 plus 9, that's how much? 21. And 6, 3 and 1. So 6 plus 3 plus 1, that's 10. So 21 minus 10, that's equal to 11. So here the difference between sum of the digits in the odd position and even position, it is 11. So option 2, 963391. Now that is the answer for this question. Right now, after that, you don't have to check, because only one of them is going to be correct. So once you confirm second option, you don't have to check for the third option, right? So if you're curious, the third option, the difference would be 2. 9 minus 7, 2. The sum of the digits. Okay, difference between sum of the digits. And for the fourth option, it's going to be 14 minus 7, 7. Okay, but otherwise you don't have to check for option 3 or option 4. The moment you got the answer at option 2, or let's say if suppose option 1 was the answer, you can just mark it and move on. Don't waste any further time, because all you have for the 100 questions is only 60 minutes, right? So answer option 2, 963391 is the answer for question number 14. Question number 15, it's a very simple data interpretation question. So what has been given here is that 6 teachers, okay, so teach a particular class, they have written the senior secondary board examination. Okay, so they are showing the pass percentage between 2017 and 2018. Okay, the question here is identify the teacher whose students have shown the maximum improvement. Okay, so with the assumption that, okay, so again based on the given options and all that, okay, so with the assumption that the same number of students have studied for both the years 2017 and 18, we go with this. See, as far as data interpretation is concerned, you will get questions on percentage, average, or numbers, just like simple addition, subtraction, etc. But mostly you will get questions on percentage and average. In percentage, you will get mostly questions on like percentage change, or you can say percentage comparison. Okay, or even if you say profit. Okay, now that is a kind of a comparison with the investment that you have made. Okay, So that kind of questions is what mostly you get. Now this is also a kind of comparison question. You are comparing between the previous year and this year. Okay, so you are asking like which faculty has done, which teacher has done exceedingly well. Now when you are looking for percentage change, right? Now what is the formula you can write? You can write that new value minus original value, okay, upon original value into 100, right? Now when you are looking for this change, right, or when you're looking for like the improvement and all that, see, if you are expecting this change to be higher, now the question is who has shown the maximum improvement, okay, whether it's Joshi or Kalra or Taneja or Saxena. So we'll consider only those four, okay. So Joshi, Kalra, Taneja, Saxena. So that is so you have Joshi, Kalra, Taneja and Saxena. Only these four are considered. Gulati and Madhu are they are not considered because their numbers have anyhow come down, okay. Now if you're asking for maximum improvement, if this value, this output should be higher, then the denominator should be lower. The denominator should be, or you can say the denominator should be minimum and the numerator should be maximum. Numerator should be maximum, right? Now, if you look at it like that, now here the denominator is 85. Now, so this anyhow you can ignore because the difference is between new and the original, okay, it's only 2, right? It will be like 2 by 98. That is very minimum, okay. So here it will be 7 by 85 and here it is 9 by 78 and here it is 12 by 85. 12 by 85. So 7 by 85 and 12 by 85, anyhow 7 by 85 is less, so this option is also rolled out. So anyhow Taneja and Joshi are ruled out. Now we have to check between Saxena and Kalra. Saxena and Kalra. Now as you can see that, okay, though 78 is less, right? This is not maximum, okay. So between 9 and 12, okay, proportionately 12 is more, right? So the answer is Kalra. The answer is Kalra for this question. But okay, you can mark Kalra. Now if some of you, like if for any of you, if you are still not very clear, right, as far as data interpretation is concerned, you can go for approximation. You can go for approximation, right? Now this 78, let me make it is 81. Okay, so 9 by 81. I'm just trying to approximate 9 by 81. What is 9 by 81? 1 by 9, which is 11 percentage, right? So I'm trying to increase. So which means the actual value is going to be, that is actual 9 by 78 is going to be little, little more than this 11%. Okay. Now, whereas if you look at 12 by 85, you can approximate it as 12 by 84. That is 1 by 7. 1 by, what is 1 by 7? It is 14 percentage. Okay. So 9 by 78 is going to be little more than 11, but 12 by 85 is going to be like closer to 14 percentage, right? So anyhow, that is higher. So you can go for approximation. So just go for approximation and get the answer, right? Or you can, using your intuition, you can fix the answer initially itself by elimination. You can fix the answer initially. So answer is answer option 2. Dr. Kalra is the answer for the question. Question number 16. So it's a simplification question, a very easy one on that. So what we have is minus 15 plus 19. Okay, so I think we'll try to simplify. Now first, let's look at the bracket. So we know the BODMAS rule, that is bracket of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So first within the bracket, so 3 into 7 is 21 and 33 minus 21 is 12. So this bracket is 12 and 9 into 8 is 72. 9 to 8 is 72. Right. So 72 plus 12 is 84. 84, that's in this bracket, minus 89. That's going to be like 5. So you get minus 15 plus 90 divided by 5. So 90 by 5 is 18. So minus 15 plus 18 is equal to plus 3. That's the answer. Option 1 for question number 16. Answer option 1 for question number 16. 17. The list price of a bike is 15% more than the cost price. If it is sold at a discount of 20%, find the dealer's loss or profit percentage. So just like the first question that we discussed, I will directly write the values here. Now, selling price, okay, I'm sorry, list price, right? So the list price or the mark price, list price also known as the mark price, it is 15% more than the cost price. So I will write it as 1.15 of the cost price. Now you are offering a 20% discount. A 20% discount, you can write it as 0.8. That is a 10% loss, you can write it as 0.9. A 20% loss, you can write it as 0.8. So anyhow, loss is a lesser one on the, I mean, you're lost something on the cost price. Discount is you have lost something on the list price. You're losing something on the list price. So 0.8 of 1.15. Okay. So in terms of fraction, to make it the calculation simple, in terms of fraction, you can write this as 0.8, you can write it as 4 by 5, and this 1.15, you can write it as 23 by 20. Okay, so what you get is 92 by 100. 92 by 100, which is 0.92. So I said 0.9 means it's a 10% loss. So 0.92 means it is a 8% loss. 8% loss. So I again stress, if you are not getting what is the idea in which I am directly writing this, please look at the percentage video. You will get the input there. So answer is answer option 4. Loss of 8% is the answer for question number 17. Question number 18. In how many years shall 30? Question number 18. So it's a question on simple interest. So 3500 is the principal plus the simple interest amounts to 4500. Okay. So we know that the simple interest amount that you have gained is like 1000 rupees. Now, what is the simple interest formula? P into N into R by 100. Now, given in the question is that 3500, like N number of years, and then R like 10%. Now, this amounts to 1000. Okay. Now, let's try to do the calculation. Now, we want to calculate N. So, this 0 and 0, this 0 and 0, it goes off, right? So, this 0 and this is 20, and this is 7. So cancelling out all common. So N is equal to 20 by 7. That's the answer. Now 20 by 7 is 2, 6 by 7 years. That's answer option 3 for question number 18. Question number 19. X minus 2y equal to 3, xy equal to 5. Then find the value of x square minus, x square minus 4y square. You have to find the value of this. Okay. Now this actually, I'm just predicting it from the, okay, I'm just making a guess here instead of going for any formula and all that. Okay. So x into y is 5 means probably it can be like 5 into 1 equal to 5, or 1 into 5 equal to 5. Okay. Then x minus 2y equal to 3 means, now I've assumed, like x is 5 and y is 1. So 5 minus 2 into 1 is 2. 5 minus 2 equal to 3. So that perfectly fit in. Okay. You see, it can be some other value is also possible, but let's see for this value. Okay. Anyhow, the value that I've assumed, that x equal to y, I mean x equal to 5 and y equal to 1, that perfectly fits in for the given value here. So let me see what is x square minus 4y square. So if x is 5, x square is 5, and if y is 1, 4 into y square is 4 into 1, 4. So 25 minus 4 is equal to 21, and that's answer option 1. So it is not that always you have to remember the various formulas and do. Sometimes you can also uh, substitute some numbers and uh, get the answer, guess the answer. Okay, so x square minus 4y square, we have to find the value of x square minus 4y square. The answer is answer option 1, 21 for the, sorry, yeah, 21 for question number 19. Question number 20, if cos theta plus sin theta divided by cos theta minus sin theta equal to 8, then the value of cot theta is equal to, now this is a repeated question as far as trigonometry is concerned. This is the repeated question in SSC. I also remember seeing this question in one of the CGL papers. Okay, uh, so we can write that cos theta, from the given equation we can write cos theta plus sin theta is equal to what is there in the denominator, I'm taking it to the other side. So you get 8 cos theta minus 8 sin theta. Okay, so which you can write it as 7 cos theta, that is, if I bring this side, 7 cos theta equal to, and I bring this side, okay, you get 7 cos theta equal to 9 sin theta. Right, now what is uh, cos theta? Cos theta is base by hypotenuse, right? And what is, so 7 times base by hypotenuse is equal to, what is sin theta? It is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So 7 times base by hypotenuse equal to 9 times base by perpendicular. I'm sorry, perpendicular by hypotenuse. 9 times base perpendicular by hypotenuse. So we get that base by perpendicular is equal to 9 by 7. Base by perpendicular is equal to 9 by 7. Now that's cot theta. Answer is answer option 2, 9 by 7. Okay. Now, so I have the relationship here. So it's just to put a reminder. So opposite side by hypotenuse is sine A. Yeah, adjacent side by hypotenuse is cos A, and cot A is adjacent side by opposite side, right? So you can use this. Also, you have to remember, some of the values like sine 30 is half, sine 45 is 1 by root 2, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, sine 90 is 1. Okay, so this also helps to solve these questions in the CHSL paper. Question number 21. If cos x minus y equal to root 3 by 2, okay, and sine x plus y equal to half, then what is the value of see, from the table here, okay, you can see that cos 30 equal to root 3 by 2, okay, and sine 30 is equal to half. Okay, So now it's given that, see, another possibility is, we know that, like 180 minus, now if sine 30 is half, 180 minus 30, so sine 150 is also half. Okay, sine 150 is also half, right? But the problem is, now it's given that x is less than 90. Okay, if x is less than 90, then like it can't be, if x is less than 90, right? Now sine 150 half, now that we can't use, right? So what we can use is sine 30 is half and cos 30 is 3 by root 3 by 2. Now this is what we can use. So we can say that x minus y equal to 30 degrees, right? And x plus y, that is also equal to 30 degrees, which means y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. So and x is equal to 30 degrees. So answer for this question is answer option 2, 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm not getting into like the different like complicated formulas and all that. I'm just making it simple. So sine 150 half, that is not possible because the value like has to be less than 90. So x plus y being 150 is not possible. So x plus y can only be 30 and x minus y can also only be 30. So because of the given constraint, so the answer is 30 degrees here. 22, if cot A equal to K, then sin A is equal to what? Okay. So, and it's been given that, like presume A is an acute angle, right? So, if you have to write that cot A equal to K, right? So, what is cot A? We just saw a moment before, that is base by perpendicular. Base by perpendicular is cot A, right? So we can also say cot A is equal to K by 1. You can also say cot A equal to K by 1. Now what is sin A? Sin A is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. Perpendicular by hypotenuse. And we know that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. Okay, this is typical Pythagorean triplet, right? So that aside, so we can write cot A is what, like base by perpendicular is equal to K by 1. So hypotenuse square is equal to K square, that is base is K, I can take base as K and perpendicular is 1, so K square plus 1 square. Okay, so which means hypotenuse, I can write hypotenuse is equal to root of 1 plus K square, that is 1 square plus K square. I'm just writing this 1 plus K square. So what is sin A in that case? Sin A is perpendicular, which is 1 by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is what? We have just found it as root of 1 plus K square, right? So 1 by root of 1 plus K square, that's answer option 4. So this, it is lengthy, probably the lengthiest of all questions that we have solved. But once you know the basic relations that I have showed earlier, okay, it is easy for you to proceed. Okay, though it is definitely like time consuming. So that's the answer for question number 22, answer option 4. Now I have a problem with the next 3 questions. So the next 3 questions are data interpretation questions. There is inconsistency in the data. It is not like really clear. So, and I also try to check with the official key. The official key has got an answer, but I have not I'm not able to trace the updated, if there is any updated answer key for this, I am not able to trace. So the problem is, the question says profit percentage. Okay, so it says, like if you look at the wordings here, the annual percentage profit earned by the company. The graph gives, okay, the following graph given the annual percentage profit earned by the company. But if you look at the image, it is saying the amount in lakhs. So 45, 40, 55, 50, 65 and 75 and 65. Okay. So based on, like I'll give a, like mixed answer. Okay. So based on whatever is available data, but I'm not sure about, except for the 23rd question. I mean, 3 questions were based on this particular graph. I'm not really sure about 24 and 25, but 23, like I'm kind of sure with the answer. But 24 and 25 also, I'll give the answer, like according to the answer key given, official answer key given, I'll give you a particular answer. Okay. So in future, if suppose I get, like a different, or I mean, if I get the proper version, or if I get an updated answer key, I'll definitely update this here. But anyhow, I just want to show what was actually asked in the actual paper. So here, what they have told us is that the data is given and there is a percentage profit, which is income minus expenditure upon expenditure into 100. Okay, so the first question is, the income is asked. It says that the expenditure for the company is 30. That is the investment. Okay, expenditure, you can say the kind of investment is 30. What is the income for that company that year? Right. Now, instead of taking these values as lakhs, if you take, this is for the year 1996, right? If you take this as 45 percentage, right? Now, if you look at this relation, okay, percentage profit is income minus expenditure by expenditure, right? So percentage profit, it is, let's say 45 percentage profit. So 45 percentage, you can write it as 45 by 100. That's equal to income is what we are supposed to find out. Okay, the expenditure is 30 upon 30. Okay, so we have to solve for this. So I mean, this 30 goes this side. So 45 into 30 by 100 is equal to income minus 30. So 0 and 0 goes off. You will get 13.5 on your right. So 13.5 is equal to income plus 30, sorry, income minus 30. So you will get income is equal to, like I'll write it this side, income is equal to 30 plus 13.5. So that's 43.5. Okay. So if the investment made is 30 crores, see, the other way of calculating is 30 crores is the investment. Okay. So 30 plus 45% of 30. 45% of 30 is 13.5 crores. So 30 plus 13.5 crores, that's 43.5 crores. That's another way of calculating. Now, if you want to use the formula as it is, as given in the question, you can solve it like this, or you can just directly take 30 plus 13.5, that's 43.5. So the answer is option 4. So the given, see, the image says, like it's in lakhs. Okay, but I've taken it as 45 percentage and then I've calculated. I've got 43.5 crores because it says the answers are in crores. Okay, so this perfectly matches. But the rest of the 2 questions, okay, even if I change this into percentage and all, that's still, the data is kind of inconsistent. Okay, so the question is, the period in which the profit of the company has increased. Okay, so if you look at just the percentage value, now 45 becomes 55. Okay, now 55 to 50, that's a dip. Okay, so this you don't have to consider. Now 50 becomes becoming 65, that's a good increase, and 55 to 75, that's an increase but not great. Now this one you don't have to consider. Okay, so 45 to 55, and then like 65 to 70, I mean 45 becoming 55, 50 becoming 65, and then 65 becoming 75. Now which of the 3 is higher? Okay, so again you have to remember the other data interpretation question about 6 teachers. Okay, so I said the base has to be less and the denominator has to be minimum, and the numerator has to be maximum, right? So in which case, among the three, okay, so here the difference is 10, here the difference is 10, here the difference is 15. So 15 by 50, so this will be the maximum. So 50 becoming 65, that's the maximum. So the answer is answer option 98, 99. Still, I'm repeatedly telling you, I'm not like fully convinced, because the question says percentage profit, but here it is in lakhs, right? So the accuracy of the data, the consistency of the data is highly doubtful. But anyhow, so 98, 99 is what I'm marking as the answer, and this is what is given in the answer key, official answer key. The last question here again is not really clear. Okay, so the profit earned by the company is maximum in the year. So again, if you look at the absolute values here, like it is 75, right? So the answer for this question is answer option 4, 2000. That's what is given in the official key. So if you get any further input on the last three questions, the data interpretation, I'll do let you know. I hope the methods that I've used in these for these questions in the video was useful to you. And if you have any questions, please do post your questions in the comment section below. We'll be happy to answer your questions. And please like, share, and subscribe to our channel Learning About for more videos on quantitative aptitude, reasoning, and general awareness for all these exams. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great day.